My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. Fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Well, let me say welcome yet again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And I hope I'm audible enough. Paul, do you hear me?
Well, Lifa, I'm hearing it loud and clear. Good evening from my end.
Okay, so I'm here, we are here this evening together. We'll be discussing Liberia. We'll be discussing some of the training issues in Liberia. As we all know, this country is always in the news, either for the good or for the bad. And so every day there is something to talk about. So let me say welcome to Paul, and during the course of the program, we're going to have Jamel joining us also from the UK. But Paul, let me say welcome to you. Today is Tuesday. The last time we were here was Saturday. How have your few days in between been?
Well, the day's been great, and I want to say thank God we have another life, and it been okay. And just one before I go into how my day been, just want to say for our viewer who joining us, welcome to Bottomline. We're going to have a fascinating topic tonight to discuss. Yeah, my time been good, and how you been too since the last meeting?
Oh well, we've been good. As you know, the beginning of or the end of October to the beginning of, or in fact, the entire November, I had this painful throat, and uh, all of the sour doctors, everybody that I told they will prescribe different medicine for me. So as I'm sitting here, I think I know more than 20 different medicine for painful throat.
I mean,
And actually, it was really painful because I had something here like two little nuts, and it was one side first, and then the other one came. It was painful. When I touch it outside, it's painful, and then inside was painful. I can't swallow. And all the medicine people, my sour doctor, then 2x4 doctor, then you got to drink lime and and hot water, and but the most interesting part was my wife, medicine. She said I should always take lukewarm water or little, let's say hot water with salt, and gargle it in my throat and waste it. And can you imagine the whole bag of salt? I drank half of that bag of salt. So,
I mean, they think, yeah, why you can't do the Liberian thing? They think that what we grew up with pepper and thing. They just get it, madam,
I
put
can't
sugar
find
and
the
put
pepper.
pepper in your throat, and they just kill the thing. It
Yeah,
can
man,
be.
I was looking for that pepper, and when I bought some kind of pepper from the Arab shop, but anyway, it helped. But you see, the good thing is that all of the sour medicine, the 2x4 doctor, then they can help you. Some of them say, my man, when you wake up in the morning, do this, do that, and everything helped. So I want to be thankful to God that my throat is clear, and a little bit clear now. I'm not one of the people with that kind of sharp, tune. I have this dull voice, and I think that was when I was on the radio. That was one of my trademark. That's people knew me for that. So everywhere I went, when I thought they say you must be the Linford that we hear on the radio. So I want to
Right.
be thankful to God. And weather-wise, we've had a downpour of snow here. It was really snowing during the weekend, but it stopped, and then the cold is setting in, but it's good.
Right. Yeah, let's dive into this thing here and tell our
Yeah.
viewers welcome on to bottom line. For those who first time following us, if you press the like button to follow whenever we comes on, they will be talking about the situation in Liberia particularly, and then we will discuss the Weah cycle, why he been out of Liberia, what happened. I guess it's on the stadium as we speak. We'll be talking about that. So, Linford, I think we should get the ball rolling because I'm getting excited. And that's a welcome. I see. Hold on, let me see.
Kai Jabo
Yeah,
is there, and I want to say welcome to Kai. And Kai, please help us to share the video. And Kai has a big follower, on Facebook too. And Kai is a very instrumental person when it comes to the ANC Global Euro, and
and
he
we
was
want to have your bottom
furniture.
line one day to have a very good discussion. So let's get the ball rolling. Linford, you've been around in the political space for a long time as a journalist as well. What's happening to Mama Liberia? You've been reporting for many years. Have you ever, is this ever happened in the history of Liberia that the president of the country will leave the suffering people and go sit down in Qatar and in merrymaking, enjoying football, called that he watching? Tell me so we can go into this and there's a lot of things. Talk to us.
Well, in the first place, let me say this for the record's sake that since actually um, got interested in a field of journalism that was from high school days. Uh, I, I have not seen anything like this from my high school days until when I graduated from high school. After a couple of years trying to be a journalist, as you know, it wasn't like this before, where we have all the proliferation of radio stations and one guy can grab one cell phone and walk around and say he's a journalist. It wasn't like this. I mean, this was a profession that even if you had a chance just to be friendly with the guys in the media, that was a plus for you. But let alone to even say you hold a microphone, forget it. I mean, the day you touch a microphone, at least then you made another step. But I want to say that I have not seen this before, where the president will abandon the country for that long. And by way of information, I did actually when I started my journalism career, I started working in 1988, and we didn't have this situation. 1988, if you all can recall, that was during the dual era, and before I even started working, I followed closely because, like I said, I started this team, the journalism interest in high school. That was pretty close from 1980, 81, 82, when I graduated from high school, 82. And so it took me the next 6 years before I could start working as a journalist. But then I followed closely, like you said, I was in a lifeline. And I followed President Doe. President Doe traveled widely when he was president. In 10 years, he was president. He traveled widely. And every time President Doe went somewhere, he was there for a few days and he would come back. And whenever he traveled, the people on the delegation were named besides the security detail. But to the point that they had to even name his physician, the general physician, okay, the private doctor that he had. So they would name everybody, the guru Steve Makundo will have that list, and he will give the itinerary of the president, how long the president is going to stay there. And that was all coordinated between the Ministry of Information and the State Broadcasting Corporation at the time, ELBC. And so the journalists that were on a trip with the president had a complete itinerary because it comes from the Ministry of State to the Ministry of Information, and then the Ministry of Information will pass it. There was a system. So everybody knew how many people were traveling with the president besides the security, like I said, and besides the advanced team that will go to prepare. So we didn't see this kind of situation. And fast forward, Doe left. And so I personally served as a journalist under two presidents, Doe partly for at least 2 years, and then under Taylor from 1990 all the way to when I left Liberia in 1999. So I personally traveled with President Taylor in most of the West African countries, most of the peace talks were there. Even before he became president, I traveled with him many times. And it wasn't any time that President Taylor went somewhere and he will overstay. Okay, and I'll give you one particular instance. There was the last time I traveled with Taylor was in 1997, right after elections. He went to Guinea, and we had this. They had this meeting at the Guinea. There's a place called I don't know the name of that place, but it's actually near the water. It's like a conference center where they had a meeting, and then immediately after the meeting, we came. It was on a Monday. Then the next day was Tuesday. He was in the country. Then the third day was on a Wednesday of that same week, and that was the last time I traveled with him. We also went to Nigeria. We were in Nigeria, and something spectacular happened. We left Liberia on that Wednesday at the airport. Explaining all the long story to let you know how emergency can happen and then presidents can cut that trip short. We went to the airport at the time. The Ecomofi commander, the last one that was there before elections. So I just forgot the guy name. So they all escorted the convoy to the airport, and then we boarded the plane. We went. When we got to the place, we went straight to the Aso Rock in Nigeria. That's the owner mansion, so to speak. And we were there throughout the meeting the whole day. There was a big meeting with Obasanjo, the late, I'm forgetting.
Just flow. You don't have to be.
So this meeting was going on, and we were there. Then, not knowing that Doki Bari has been formed. So this ECOMO commander that we left in Liberia, while we were in the meeting, because we got there like around 2 o'clock, we were in the meeting in the evening. I mean, actually, the journalists were outside. We see the guy through the glass discussing, but we can't go inside. And then finally, this guy came and passed by us, and he was dressed in a Nigerian suit. So one of us, the Lepo Samuel, he said, "Oh, but this is the ECOMO field commander." Then we started to argue. Man, we left the name, all the men can't do here.
So, I mean, they think what we saying.
I want to give you instance.
Yeah, give me instance because you got Riverside Pro is already on your box. It's the long term protocol. So you
Riverside Pro want to learn. We want you to learn. So then when the guy went inside, he broke the news of Doki's death. And so the whole meeting, we now also we see that the meeting inside the chakla. So then Joe Moluwa came outside. He said, "Gentlemen, we're sort of being in Abuja actually for 3 days." He said, "Gentlemen, everybody, there's an emergency in Liberia." And all we thought was we're often breaking out again. Since there's an emergency in Liberia, we're cutting the trip short. We went back tomorrow. Okay. And the next day we came. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is that the president had traveled for 3 days. They were supposed to be there having meetings, but because of this emergency, they had to cut the trip short. And Taylor himself came outside. He said, "Guys, we all returning to our hotels, go and refresh and eat and think. We don't know how early we'll be leaving, but we'll be leaving very early." And that's how we came. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when emergency things happen in your country, the president, no matter what kind of trip he's on, he's supposed to return. The president was in Liberia, or I think before he even left, or after he left, I'm talking about President Weah now. 8 Nima County citizens got drowned. Up to now, there is no one statement of condolence from the government, even in the absence of the president. It has not come from the vice president. It has not come from the entire government. Okay, and then rice shortage in the country. We can hear from the president. The census is now going on, which is very vital to the elections that the president himself will take part in. We have not heard from him, but he's out there making merry. So you ask me, as you talk to the Liberian people, so this is why I'm giving you the long story. The reason I gave you the particular story is that was the only time that I was on a presidential detail when something happened, emergency, and then the president had to return. So that's the reason, Riverside Pro, that's the reason why I'm giving you that long story. Because for me, you know, I let it be very, very clear when I say things so that people understand.
Right. So you're right, because this issue of the president being away now, it has raised concern in the whole international community, not only the West Africa, not only Liberia alone. And Nigerians, comedians now are making mockery out of Liberia. And so I got a little clip here. I want you to look at it and see what you think of this, what is happening in the region. It's not only Liberia now, it's across. Listen to this.
While Liberia people, they not qualify for the World Cup. But Liberia president and president for Liberia, because they play for US. Okay, you see African leaders who they never believe in their country. The pikin where they play for US not be even pay me. They don't go the World Cup. Even US president never near where World Cup day. Liberia president will say the country, a pikin no fit to play for a country. Carry Liberia money. Till they go wash a pikin for World Cup. You go sit down, they buy gala, they lick ice cream with Liberia people money. And your pikin too big to play for Liberia. But Liberia people now not too big to put you as their president. Then you go carry their taxpayer money. They go wash your pikin. You wash day one, you wash day two. You go sit down there when you come home. My brother. Now we do ourselves. Some of them go say, nothing wrong with it. Something is wrong. Now president. If president not believe in a country, we the citizens, I want to believe in our country. Because later on, say, come invest home, come back home, come and do. He cannot call if Piki say, come back home, come and play. If that Piki join Liberia team, another one come, this one come. Liberia not go. Because Africa people, if they see wrong thing, when I say, oh, hey, now president, he get money to, where I take get money? You cannot try this for US. Senator, we carry a family, go Mexico for beach, and problem dey US. Senator, not be governor of the state. They protest, the guy resign. He say, I'm sorry. Those of never watch out. They say US, so you're picking the flow. We wake back. I know if you give you back and slam now, just this. So those of never watch out. Sorry, God.
So, Linfa, this is what happening now. It's not only Liberia. Liberia become mockery now in the whole west coast of Africa. And it's when something is wrong, we have a tendency of saying, oh, you know, because of this, it's not right. Something is not right here. What your understanding of what this guy is saying here? Is that what Liberians have been saying?
Oh, no, listen. No, I'll tell you something. What is happening in Liberia with this president is kind of unique situation. Like I said, all of my life, I have not seen any president that is well. He's not on medical condition. He doesn't have some emergency that will compel him to get away from his country for all that long time. Now, please tell me, when you are out of the country, you are the number one person. You took oath to defend, protect, and uphold the constitution of the country and its people and defend the borders of your country. What if we have problem with any of our neighbors and our neighbors want to seize the opportunity to invade us? I mean, worst case scenario. Who's going to be there to give the command? Remember, the president, according to our constitution, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. That's why he's the CRC. So the armed forces could say, well, we're not going to fight because nobody's there to give us command. Nobody's telling us what to do. Okay, and they will be right. Because why? They must take command from their leader. Now our president is absent. Let's look at a country like Burkina Faso. And I'll use Burkina Faso as an example because Burkina Faso, the guys do military coup like it used to be Nigeria, where they used to do military coup like the plain fund. Now it's now Burkina Faso. What if Liberians were now weary of this war? Liberians were now weary of where we came from, and somebody wanted to try might. They would say, "No, gentlemen, I think this is the right time for us to take over." It could happen. I'm just giving worst case scenario, and you know, no, let me tell you, in the kind of situation, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So we must talk about it. We shouldn't be biting our tongues. So the president knows that what he's doing is dangerous to the state. It's not in the best interest of the state. It's not in the best interest of the people. And to the point that it has gone even across the borders of Liberia, that, you know, they mock news. All the things the boys doing, they make it with comedy. But now we are no more in the 1970s, in the 1950s, the 1960s. No, we are in the year 2002 and 22. 2022. So this is a different kind of generation that even a first grade student can have access to information as long as they have computer, they got cell phone, they got tablet, they can have access to the entire world. The internet is the entire social media is what the international highway to information. So, you know, all these things are happening. If it were years go by in the 1950s or 60s, it would just be within our border. Even people in Gbarnga will not know. Okay? But now we are in a technological age where everything is open. So the guys that sit and make fun out of these things, like this mock news and all this kind of thing, the information is wow. You know how many people follow this guy? So President Weah knows that he have become embarrassment, like Yeka Kolva, to borrow Yeka Kolva's word. He has become embarrassment to the presidency. I mean, for his name, I don't think he really cares for his name. But the presidency of Liberia, he has brought the presidency into disrepute.
So it's not only now it's going across Africa and the world. And I'm trying to play the thing. I don't know whether Facebook will have access to it. It was some interview from BBC by the BBC correspondent
Yeah, but all we can
And
do is we just give a disclaimer that this
all
is
right,
the
please
work of
do
the
so I
BBC.
can put this up.
Yeah, this is the work of the BBC. It's not ours, but because it is virtually important to the discussions that we are having about our country, so that's why we decided to relift that particular clip. And so, Facebook, please do not block us, and BBC, we do not have copyrights to your production. You can roll.
We're just over a week into possibly the biggest footballing event on the planet, the World Cup in Qatar, and things have got heated up. Thousands of miles away, even, in Liberia, the West African nation's president and former international footballer George Weah has been in Doha since the start of the World Cup, watching his son Timothy Weah, who's playing for the US. And today I'm asking, why are Liberians upset with President George Weah? I'm Alan Kasuja, and this is Africa Daily. So President George Weah left Liberia on the 1st of November and was meant to return this month, but has since extended his return to December 18th. In his travels, President Weah has visited a number of countries, including Morocco, Egypt, France, Qatar, and next, he's planned a trip to the US. In a letter to the Senate, the president said these were official trips undertaken by a head of state for bilateral and multilateral meetings. But Liberians say they aren't happy with the travels and the cost that's attached to them, and especially the extended stay in Doha for the World Cup. So, to get a sense of what's happening on the ground, I got in touch with Liberian journalist in the capital, Monrovia, Jonathan Pelele.
If you listen to the radio programs in the morning, both in Monrovia and in rural places, people just don't understand why the president would want to stay away for this long. So the discussions here are largely about the president leaving at a time he should not have left the country. And I've just been talking to people just to get some feeling about the president being away.
The president has left the country at a time when the judiciary has not taken pay for 3 months. Civil servants have not taken pay for 3 months. When the national census has become a disaster, and he is using taxpayers' money to sponsor his trip to watch his son playing football at the World Cup. And worst of all is that his son is not playing for Liberia but for the United States. I think staying out of the country for 48 days is a disservice to the Liberian people. This is just absolutely wrong, and it shows insensitivity to the people of Liberia.
Granted that Liberia needs bilateral relationship with other nations and we need support and all that, but you cannot leave the country for such that time. Liberia is at a crossroad where we have lots of national crucial issues. You have the economy, you have crucial elections coming up in 11 months, and the president is away for such a long time. This is not good for the nation.
A few Liberians there sharing their thoughts about President Weah's foreign travels. I still have a few more things to discuss with Jonathan. So, what about the cost of this trip? That is something that has been talked about. How much of a cost will this be to the taxpayer?
That's the question here, because Liberia has an official travel ordinance where, besides the per diem and the cost of accommodation for the president, he should be given an incidental allowance of $2,000 a day. This, to make it clear, is not his per diem, which should be much higher, or the cost of accommodation. It is just a daily incidental allowance, $2,000 a day. So this alone will amount to $96,000 for the 48 days. So if you consider this and the number of top-level persons he travels with, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, you also have the Minister of the person in charge of Maritime Affairs. So, and up to now, they haven't disclosed the exact number of persons traveling. So some people are saying that around $1 million plus will be spent on this trip.
Linford, you heard that? So this is not only West Africa. This is across now the world. It's BBC that pick it up.
But I told you, we are in the 21st century, in the year 2022, So let me tell you, even if there is no way that any information can hide. You know, people feel that when you write something on Facebook or write something even on your own computer and you say you delete it, ask yourself, have you seen any dump site anywhere in the world where when you delete something you can go lay down? Like, you know, when we take our garbage, you go dump it. When you go back, you see the garbage that you dump, you see it there. But whatever you delete from your phone or from wherever, do you see it somewhere party? It's there, it exists forever and ever. Okay? It exists. So whatever you do, somebody can dig it up after even 100 years and will find it. So the point I'm trying to make here is that there is no way that any information can hide. So why people are thinking that, or why probably the president is thinking that what he's doing is, you know, within the perimeters of Liberia, no, brother, it's far away, far beyond your reach. And so as per the BBC picking it up, it's just one media outlet. If you call Al Jazeera now and ask them whether they heard about it, they will tell you yes. If you call even Sky News in the UK, if you ask them, they'll say, yeah, we know. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is just something beyond normal human comprehension, that a president would relinquish his own post. I mean, you know, I want to think how the president is thinking. I'm trying to imagine how the president is thinking. That if he was the one, or let's say it was one of the cabinet ministers that just left his post and go for that law, what would he say to that cabinet minister? What would be his action?
But look at the money involved here, $2,000 a day. So for the 48 days, that $96,000, and that just
the $2,000 is just his incidental allowance. That maybe
excluding the hotel, the transport, the food.
That does not include the hotel, the normal daily per diem, okay, and travel allowance. That does not include that. That one is just like you say, oh, my hair thing, you go buy my paracetamol, they buy it. Oh man, you tell her cold up or to bring that bag of water, they bring it. Okay, so that just incidental something. So we're talking about it, and here I think the only actual figure that anybody can attach to the president's travel is that $2,000 a day. Why? Because the Minister of Finance, Samuel Tweah, appeared on Spoon TV and announced that himself and said that he signed that paper. Okay, he refused to tell the people how much he signed, to tell the Liberian people how much he signed. According to him, he did sign it. He was not in the country, but he can sign it. Okay, he can approve, and they can use his stamp to approve it, but he can sign it. But he refused to tell the Liberian people how much he signed for as the travel budget for the president. That he did not say. The only amount he attached to the president's travel was his $2,000 incidental allowance per day. So that amounts to $96,000 for the number of days will be there. Now,
so that means if he travel with 5 members, they also entitled to that allowance. So we don't know the total number, because
they may not be receiving the same amount of money.
No, not the same. They might be receiving some sort of money. I mean, when you travel with Taylor to other countries, you guys are getting something per day, I guess.
We got our daily per diem, you know.
Right. And so that the same thing apply.
Yeah.
So but this is not fair.
Yeah. The thing I wanted to get across is that, you know, there will be a lot of conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to the amount of money, because if you listen to the BBC interview, they are estimating that close to $1 million will be used. And somebody can come out and say maybe $10 million. And who will you blame? When the government refused to tell the people the budget, when the government has been very, very taciturn about how much the president's budget is for this travel. So I see seditions or some supporters of the president trying to defend this thing. This is just indefensible. I mean, no, under normal circumstances, nobody can defend anything else, because you don't, even they themselves don't know the details. Okay, they don't know the detail. So everybody will come out with some figure. Everybody will come out with some speculations. You know. So
Linford, he went to watch his son playing. According to the journalist, he went to watch his son playing. So the son played twice. He there. Yesterday, the president also watched another game that have nothing to do with his son. So he did for the entire World Cup, or he did, when his son team qualified to reach to the final, he'll be there until the end of the day, because this is becoming crazy. And I just wanted to share something else with you, because if he only went to watch his son playing, after that he can go back to Liberia and come out. Yesterday, we saw this president in the midst of a former Brazilian legend. Understand, watching Brazil play. I want you to look at this image, and I'll make this thing bigger. You see the yellow thing up there at the top of it, that President Weah in his website now. This was yesterday. Brazil national team were playing. And if you look at the top, you see Kaká, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, all these top Brazilian ex-footballers. The president was in the mix yesterday. So is that the purpose of his trip, to go watch this World Cup instead of us saying he want to watch his son playing? What are your thoughts on this?
You know, I really don't know how to start or where to end, but let's be frank. I personally have nothing against the president watching his son play football, right? Okay. I've been there before. I would love to see my son go to play football. I would love to see my daughter go to play NAFO, if that's what she wants to do. But I think what concerns people much is the timing with the conditions left back at home, the timing, okay? And a hungry generation of people are never the best people to play these kind of games with. Let me tell you, in Norway, okay, Norway is not heaven on earth, but at least everybody can afford. So as I'm certain, even if they dismiss me today, the state will step in. I'll be getting money to pay my rent, to buy food, to eat. But in a country where even if you work for your own money, you can't get it. The people are angry people. So what seems to be normal to you may not be normal to the angry man, the hungry, angry man. Okay. So even if our king left today and went somewhere for 100 days, nobody got time for the guy, because he's not putting bread on my table. I'm not working for him. I work for the state. I get paid. Okay. So people are not worried. The same way, if your new prime minister leaves and goes somewhere, even though for political reasons they might politicize it, but let's say he left and went to, because he got Indian background, went to India, and then he's there for 2 weeks. Does that affect your paycheck? No. Does that affect how you will pay your way to go to work? No, because the system is set. But in a country where there's nothing working, if you remember one time, the last time on the same show, I said, what Liberia needs now is not a president, is not somebody popular. What Liberia needs now is a manager, somebody who can manage the broken system, to build it up, to put it back to work. Okay? So the president going to watch this.
Lifa, nobody, I don't think anybody have problem with that watching his son, but the Nigerian comedian made a point. This man, he is the sitting president of the land. He was president before his child started playing for America. If he cannot convince his son that this will look bad on my part, this country made me, and all the titles are wrong is through this country. Encourage your son to play for your country, that other Liberians that are born their children outside as an example, that they will send us to build that Liberia that have never reached World Cup.
I will go the other route. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you can go the other route. Listen, now.
There is something, I know.
Let me finish my thought. Let me learn. And I just picked this from that comedian.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the father of a nation, if that nation cannot, where may you expose, if your child cannot play for that country, that means the country is not good enough for your child. So who live for child in Norway that's the child now will go for. If you look at the English coach that was there recent time, he came all over Europe to get all these children that were born around here to go play for Lone Star. The setting president's son cannot even play for the country. I mean, that alone, it concerns everybody. No man say he shouldn't go watch a child playing. I see it as it's not
that's what I
a
said.
good experience.
That's
So
what I said. Yeah,
before you
why it is
come in,
true that
let's welcome Jamal to this program.
yeah,
Jamal,
okay, Chima,
welcome.
welcome. But before Chima can come in, let me just give my thought before I forget.
Please do.
Yeah, I will have a different approach to that. You know, we live in this entire world where people are trying to change the world to democracy. And because of, you know how many people have died in the name of democracy, in the name of people trying to change them to do what they call democracy, that is to have free will. If the Arab world knows nothing about what they call democracy, but the Arab world have gone through painful, excruciating experiences trying to introduce democracy. Okay, so I think we should respect the views of people. Now, if the country people say you can born a child, but you can't born a heart. So let's say George we are timidly we are done and say, Mama, begin can't play for my team or can't play for the country because the country I come from the beginning say no, I'll born in America, I want to play for America. George will not do anything. So, but the point I'm making here is that we'll respect democracy. We'll respect what somebody wants to do. We may not like it. Okay, in the case of Timothy, we all knowing that he could play and help Liberia to excel. Yeah, we want to see him play for us. But if he doesn't want to do, what do? You're not grabbing and put him on the field and say, can't play. You put him on the field, say, you're not playing. What you do, you go there and grab him and run with him behind the football.
No.
The point I'm making is that it's democracy. Yeah. He chose to play for America. Simple. Nothing we can do about that.
No, nothing we can do about that. But
very good.
What I'm saying is a bad precedent. The reason why I'm saying this, all right, before Jamal come in, before Jamal come in, say it's no bad precedent, it's democracy, which I agree. Listen to what people are saying around the world.
Forget about people's view. I told you people may not like it,
but Jamal can come in. Yeah, that's their view. So just listen.
Will disgrace Africa. I told you guys that Ghana will disgrace Africa.
This boy, I don't know which country you are coming from, but I think your tongue show me that you are from Liberia. Your country is the definition of disgrace. You people wake up and kill each other, cousin and this thing. Kwasia. Recently, your president cry is coming to AU meeting. We have to send our old plane to pick him. You don't even have bicycle, and you are talking about Ghana. Ghana is going to disgrace Africa. Your country has never qualified for even secondary school ball. Idiot. Your country president, the son is playing for US. You are sitting there talking about Ghana will disgrace Africa. Let me catch you. You are in Bujumbura camp talking nonsense. That is why everybody come to Ghana, will give you some freedom, then you are talking nonsense.
It's democracy, Linford. You and me see it as democracy. The sitting president of a country, his son cannot play for that country. It's okay, it's democracy, it's the person's right to choose. But it also sends a bad signal also. I bet Pele play for Ghana. He not president, he encouraged his two sons to play for Ghana. Today, Ghana in the World Cup. Liberia, the president that won a Ballon d'Or of Africa, that nobody will never reach that stage. His son cannot play for his own country. I see it as a bad precedent. You may call it democracy, that's fine, but it's not looking good. Jamal, welcome to the show. That's my thought, and that's my opinion. That's how I see it.
I respect it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we're allowed.
Yes, we were flowing with Liberia, the situation with all of this president being away for donkey years, we'll say, not months, and his refusal of going back with all the crisis in Liberia. And now BBC have talked about it. West African comedians have now picked it up. People are making all kind of comments on Liberia. This is just not right. And I don't know what you heard. You've been in the background, the media institution. What's going on?
Yeah, it's a total mockery. This guy living in the country for 48 days, going out to watch football and having a good time, while at the price of on the expense of the taxpayer. We should take it home $500,000 US. I know that would be his pocket money. So that's a big mockery of us. And I think this thing need to be addressed. I hope that when he gets back home, the legislation, the Liberian will question him, and they can make you understand that this can happen to us, because he may have a free ride. What I understand, that a lot of people that will be supporting him. And one thing I want to let you guys know, that Joshua will be bringing a lot of fake projects. You remember when you took over, you told how many thousands of teachers you're going to bring for Nigeria. We didn't see them. Now we have a news flash telling us that he's bringing some projects from Egypt, Qatar, and so forth. These are all fake. They're not going to happen. You will see the newspaper headlines. We're not going to see anything happening. Oh, the president is busy negotiating with the foreigners, international committee, Arab countries, to bring Arab money into the country and build our country. What did not happen in the first 5 years? It's not going to happen. So we expect those things to happen, to hear what is going to happen anyway. So yeah, that's my take on it. We Liberians, we forget. We're easier to forget, and you will happen when he gets back home. Nothing going to happen. We're going to have fun. People will be on the street fighting for him. You saw what happened recently in Margibi County. The disgraced Minister, Honorable Magay, he's been all welcome. In Margibi, he's going to run as a next senator for that county. So this is Liberia. So what do you expect, my brother? So this is
Liberia. But so before you can, there's something caught my attention yesterday. I watched this Emmanuel Koto on Spoon. He did an interview in the real life area, and this is from Spoon. So I just want to put this out there. A little guy, he's a registered sedition. He took out his ID card while they were interviewing him. He said, "You see this card? I'm a sedition. But this time around, this is what I will do. I want you to listen to the young man, just a few seconds."
Lofa County Road.
Yesterday, I was living evidence on Carrasco in Post. I paid 700 ticket in Quadra to watch football game. And I don't think Carrasco can look at money, personal money, pay 700, our country money in sporting.
So what's your own advice, because you are a sedition and I see your ID card. What's your advice to the president? You stay your president.
My advice to the president is, you should stay strong for 2023, because we are going there. We need to take him from there. Yeah, you should stay strong. So when I'm here, I just leave on that side and support you soon, and stay there. Out there, in our country. All
right.
Different and Jamal, these are sedition. They're all angry with the situation here. I mean, the two of you, who want to come first on this?
I mean, it's not only about sedition, it's our Liberia in general. If you talk about sedition, this is affecting every one of us, Paul. It's disheartening. It is horrendous that we see our president is behaving like this. The waste of money is total waste. Taking the money out there. And not only that, let's agree that he has all right as a president to go enjoy and have for the 8 days on a holiday. I remember Ghana president used to go out for more months, 1 or 2, the late Gerald Rawlings. But the country used to be in a stable condition, in a very, very good condition before you travel out. But with the situation, the state of our affair of the country, you can't leave the country in this situation. When you see people are 6 months, I heard that last July, people just received pay for last July salary, and what up with the rest of the month? People are in desperate need. That's a really, really desperate need. That's straight in Liberia right now. So this is not going to be strange. It's not only sedition, it's about Liberia in general. So we all have these feelings. Those who may be living abroad, they are indirectly being affected. We all know that how many calls coming through to help our family members back home, because they're not getting their daily money. I mean, their monthly salary or their weekly wages that are coming through. So basically, Paul, it's not about sedition, it's about Liberia in general. Let's look at Liberia in general. We've all been affected. So we need to really see how this can be addressed.
Right.
And my take on that is that, there are certain things in this world that even no matter how much you love your wife, your child, your father, your mother, you cannot take responsibility for them. You see, hunger, if your father is hungry, you can say, "Father, transfer that hunger to me." If your father is sick, he says, "Hey, that sickness, send me another sick," and you say, maybe your head hurting, your stomach hurting, your back hurting, send the stomach hurting to me, let me take it. No. When death comes, you can't take it from anybody. So the point I'm trying to make here is that whether citizens or any other person, the hard time will not come and say, well, all the citizens in your parcel, and where the ANC people, where the UP people know, everybody will be hungry. Everybody will get sick. Everybody, will be affected like Jima said. So it's not about whether it's sedition, and that's just a tip of the iceberg. That's just one of the little boys that voted, probably because of football. They love the president and whatever. If you ask him, go by and ask about why did you vote the president, you will say, I love him. We get like him. Okay, he could have been your first time voter. He's very young, maybe 2017 he was a first time voter, maybe. So there are thousands of them, millions of them out there. But I will tell you that within the CDC itself, the top people, they are even doing or saying worse thing than what you heard a little boy say. But because they are in government, and trust me, this is a country where if you get dismissed today, your chance of getting job again, especially from government, it will be very difficult. So these guys are in government. They see all the ills, they see all the bad things happening, but they cannot talk. Because why? They got their families to take care of. Some of them are in debt, they got to pay. Some of them building their houses, they didn't complete. So you can't be building your house at foundation level, then you go make some money in government where you getting your little thing from. They will start you, and then you'll be, look at your man again. Or a whole course to getting beef for him. Can you imagine? That he talking like one little boy. I entered University of Liberia 2005, then I graduated 2001. He's so confused. So nobody wants to be like the guy. You see, so they are careful. But today, if the table was to turn around, somebody who ran your scene that you hear about George Weah from some of the same ministers around him, my brother, you would not believe it. So this thing is not about whether they are seditions or whoever. We are all affected. Even we that are here, we're not in Liberia directly. But every time people calling you, you're doing something. So it's affecting everybody. That's why we need to make a big change.
Right. We all in fact on this. So this, what I'm going to show will lead us to the next topic here. Because if the whole country is hurting and to find our mothers, our sister jumping over fence because of food shortage. There's this 11 million thing about that was in the newspaper recently. Say the finance minister was on a run. The rest issue in Liberia have not resolved yet. I want you guys to look at this quickly, and then I want Jemma and then for you comes in with this. This is the rest situation in Liberia. A bag of rest today is $30 for 25K. Rest business stay hard. Our president is merry-making on the other side watching football. Situation on the ground not good. We have the issue with the censor having been resolved. Voter registration having been resolved. All of these are all crises. I mean, see our mothers jumping over fence for food. Guys, what is your thought on this?
Yes, Paul, this is not just a described incident here. People who just may have seen the video is people are just jumping over the fence to go to a warehouse, I think, and to go buy rice, and they're not even getting it free of charge. They're going to pay for it. So they are fighting to get over there and pay for it. They can't even get it to buy it. It could be queued up somewhere. So the issue is, we've been saying, Paul, this is what we've been repeating over and over. This is a leadership problem in Africa. Most of Liberia it's a case in point. where George Weah, we people from the start foresaw this, said that George Weah was not the person to run for this country, or to manage this country. And people believed that he was a son of the soil. He was a guy who felt the pain. He came from the ghetto or the swamp. He could lead Liberia to the better leadership. And this is the consequence we are facing right now. And we all have to live with it. So the issue now, the best thing is the politicians, the oppositions, the aspirants that are coming up should put up a best proposal for us, and they should be the best way to tell the Liberian people this is not what we want. I mean, they should tell us that they will bring a better solution what Georgia is offering at the moment. And you know what we know of Liberia. We keep hailing those that keep failing us. At the time when Georgia return to the country tomorrow, you will see the same people that are voicing out against it, venting their anger. They'll be the same people welcoming me, telling, I mean, with all their hearts. So I don't know how we're going to respond to this, but we have politicians have a problem. I mean, I have not a problem, sorry. They have a lot of hard work to do. We also have a lot of hard work to do as we sit on the platform to tell the people the right story and let them know that this is not real for Liberia. I've not seen they even honor honor Taylor. He was who got to power through the gun, so power gun, and later got elected. We didn't have issues like this before. And this happened on an elected government where he was a well-respected, celebrated president in the country ever in the history of Liberia. We have a hardship of this kind. It's shame. It shame us. I know. It's unbelievable, Paul.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's hard. It's hard.
You know, when it comes to rice, I've said this thing before. I think that rice is not anything that anybody can play with in Liberia. You know, in Liberia, we normally talk about rice, but let's go to South Africa, where the people, or not South Africa, but Central Africa, or going down to the south, the Victoria Basin area, where the people eat maize, corn, as a regular food. You will not play with that. Nowhere in the world you play with anybody's stomach. Nowhere. You see, so for any Liberian leader who has witnessed, or even if they didn't witness, but they heard about rice issue in Liberia, walking about because of rice, to still play around with that, I think it's just playing deaf ears to the concerns and needs of the people. And so this leadership, I think, has just dismally failed. And you know, when you're failing, no matter what you do, like if you're in school and you know you don't understand the subject, you don't belong in that class. If they bring English, you say maybe I can pass. You fail inside. When they bring the one, you fail inside. They bring math, you fail. Everything you'll just be failing. That's what this government is doing. They have failed from every aspect. We can equate this to bad governance. And so the people of Liberia, you know, Chamel said something that we on the platform here, all Liberians, we just got to continue talking. Okay? We just got to continue talking. We'll do our part. But the choice is left with the voters. If they still want to be hungry, they still want the president to leave and go for how long, while they are here suffering. What? The ballot box 2023 is just 10 months away from now. The ballot box is open. You can drop your vote in for who you want to vote for. But listen to the candidates. And this president came to Liberian people. Nobody opened a mouth to tell him, to say what he said. He said, I didn't do anything for you. You elected me. It means that, you know, I don't care that you elected me. I'm big you to elect me. So if you still want to go elect him, that's your business. Yeah, but that's what he meant. You know?
Yeah, this is, I mean, the situation, I don't know how this going to happen, how it will progress. We all going to watch.
Nobody knows, brother. Nobody knows. You know,
yeah.
It's just
a sad situation.
You'll be surprised that the president comes and they see hungry people. Some of them will be fainting on the highway. They will go stand to watch the president come. And Liberian people, we are like this. Look, when it is your time in Liberia, brother, the same people standing on the highway there, we are going, be shooting them downstairs. They want that some of them say, shoot me. We still like you. So when your time comes, the people say they want Mr. Cummings today. We can care the whole national bank, the valley. The people say that Cummings the one who take Cummings. If that Burger the one who take Burger. If that Tweah the one who say taking. And this is how Liberian people are. You see, so the work that we have to do is to educate them. And they were not born like that, but this is how they taught them to be. You can learn to be something. Okay? They are learned to be ignorant because
Yeah.
this is what they fed them with. This is what they taught them to be.
I think I also have a different view on that. I think the fundamental issue to our problem is the distribution of wealth and opportunities in the country. That's what the problem is, I believe. That's a fundamental problem. Why is it that in the West, people don't believe in, they don't go out there, hailing the president, the prime minister, and stuff like that? Because like you said earlier today, Linfo, you had a job to pay. You have the job. You don't care whether they're paying tithes or leaves. What do you know? You're being paid at the end of the month. Most of 80 to 90% of our Liberians live on the pockets of family members, friends, and other well-wishers. So they depend on them to feed them. So when they are in power, they have to make sure that these guys stay in power so they can live. So that where it comes from, the fundamental issue is our system. There's no structure in the place where these people can have benefits. To live, they don't have to depend on these pockets of these very people. So if
Very
that is
good. And that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not cutting you off. That's the point I'm trying to make when I say this is how they have been taught to live. That you can depend on us. We'll do it for you. So whether they can do anything for themselves, they will not do it. They will say, "Yeah, we're looking forward to this person. He will do it for us."
Yes, I believe that Liberians have the resources that we can able to put people on welfare that those can afford for themselves. We can create employability for youth that are there that are out of high school, out of university, out of vocational schools. We just need a leadership. We need a proper government leadership that can take this lead. This is why we are asking for Liberian to look at people like Honorable Alexander B. Cummings with he had the expertise, he had the characteristics to lead this country, to lead to that level. Well, if you look at countries like Rwanda today, there are African countries that live or they have a welfare system where the citizens benefit from the government. We don't have in Liberia. The resources that come to Liberia, that the financial resources and other resources are being squandered by those in power, family members and those in power. So the people that should enjoy the resources, all those benefits, they're not getting it. So what they end up to, I would prefer to pay allegiance to you in power so I can benefit, I can enjoy. If Joy will come tomorrow to Liberia, I know Joy will person who make me to survive. I'll sing for him. That's why it's happening. So that system, we believe Liberians are not stupid. What happened? They want to live. Any other person want to live. I want to live. I will sing a song for me to live. So what we are saying here, the politicians have job to do. The people who make the policy makers have job to do. The legislature have job to do. We as on these platforms have job to do. Liberians in general have job to do. We should awareness for them, save awareness. How our people will benefit from these opportunities and those benefits that come around. How do we do that? Come up with a structure where the citizens will benefit. They don't have to depend on pockets of well-wisher family members and friends. So the government can provide for them. What about those handicapped? What about those who are disabled? They can't provide for themselves. They are the laughing stock in the community. We don't help them out. This is sad. This is very, very sad, Paul.
It is sad. It is sad. And Liberia, one of the oldest in the world, to say, it's not a small country and with the population that we have, with the kind of wealth that the country have, for us to be at this place at this time behind everyone. So we'll transition a little bit because time. I came across this post. Liberians are angry, and now some citizens decided to do citizen arrest, and this information been traveling around here. Look at this. Wanted President George Weah for abandoning the Liberian people. The missing president. Look, God, this is a citizen arrest. I don't know, but man, let me go to link.
Put it back up.
Again.
We didn't read the full summary. What did he say? The missing president, he has stolen millions of US dollars and has abandoned the country for 48 days. Last seen in Qatar on VIP enjoyment with his cabinet. Paul, how much it costs a VIP in Qatar now? I heard that was 15K.
15K for a ticket.
15,000 to get to the VIP lounge.
Yeah, 15,000.
That's a pay for how many Liberians for
well, we don't know how many Liberians, they have not told us.
That's a whole ministry's pay. No, seriously, that's all. He can pay 15. He can pay some small ministries, you know.
And how many days? How many days you have enjoying that VIP for? How many teams? How many games are you witnessing now?
He watched so far. He watched all the games I've been having. Because yesterday he
watched watching the United States of America or US.
He's watching the game now.
He's watching the game now.
He's watching the game. So now in United States is in a position now. They're going to the last 16. So that means he will be there to watch the next game.
So we expect an extension of his visit in Qatar.
Yes. So when they qualify to go to quarterfinal, he will be there. When they go to the final, which will end on the 18th, he will be there.
I think he has extended up to the 18th of December.
Yeah, but that's why he extended his trip to the 18th.
That's the end of the game. The final beyond. So this very calculated.
Paul, this is serious. This is serious.
It is serious.
We don't have to laugh. This is very serious. I don't know how
we don't have to cry. We don't have to cry. You know,
So guys,
we don't have to cry, but this is a serious issue for us.
It's serious, and this is the time that I think Liberians need to have serious-minded people taking over that country. Our mothers sent out to school. They so cold bow and thing. We can't be at the same place we left 30 years ago. The same thing still happening. It's about time that serious-minded people take over that country. And going forward, we can't go behind. We can't go to the past. The present is here now. It's bad. So we need to look at the future and look at different people. Although our politicians, for some reason, some of them have spoken, but it seems that they're not moving anywhere. So what Mr. Cummings has been doing lately, he has been gaining airway quietly. So he was in District 17 on the weekend. It was on Sunday, where they recruited over 20,000 people to come on board. And it's not because he's doing it quietly, making his case to the Liberian people. So he don't want to go like when people make me say the opposition are weak or this, their opposition that will just pick on everything. Is he doing it the other way around, doing it professionally, calculative, going about doing business, quietly engaging community? So before Jema talk to us, what do you think Mr. Cummings is doing now? And then Lefa can come before I show this clip.
I think he's really doing what we call community engagements, which is a good one as a politician. We have like on less than 12 months to the election. So this is going to be intensive community engagement. He's going to touch every corner of the country. And this is the good thing as a politician. Paul, he's not doing it quietly. He's doing it very well. You know, that's a Cummings style. He goes in there quietly and he displays, and he got people that take him there. And those will tell the people, this is the guy we bring you. They introduce you to every community. At the start of this, beginning this year, you heard that Cummings is not getting to the people. He's not reaching out to the people, but don't know him. You know, and people come on the Facebook, all the social media. People don't know Cummings. They don't know Cummings. And what do? He's one of the politicians that has visited every corner of Liberia compared to George Weah, the Boaka, whoever. Just do comparison, Paul. So he's not doing quietly. He's doing very well. This is why he called community engagement. And he's getting there.
Right. So, Linfa, I'll just show that they come in. It's just a few places. Like he was in District 17. I think District 17 is the Broadway area.
Yeah, that's from St. Paul Bridge up to I think to almost bordering but I don't know the other river name. But it's established.
Is that Paul River?
Yeah, to Paul River, I think. From St. Paul Beach to Paul River.
Let me show this.
3 weeks, there will be a march. There will be a march at SKD. We will come to you in the various communities. You will show us. We need not less than 2,000 persons to go with us at SKD. We will go with you and we will show you what ANC stands for. So I want to say thank you for your presence. We're going to welcome you. You truly deserve a better district 17. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Sissy. You know, our break protocol is small because there is a very important group. They just slept me. But if I call them all, they'll not forgive me. Very important group. I want to call on the United motorcyclists. The United Motorcyclists for that 3-year statement. United Motorcyclists getting them. Amanda. Our protocol, sir. Our incoming president, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, and the entourage, the motorcyclists of District 17, and the Weah administration of District 17, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We, the motorcyclists of District 17, we are here today. I think you can see the motorbikes parking over there for the love of the incoming president, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. We have come today to inform Mr. Cummings that we, the cyclists of District 17, make sure and we'll work with our police to make sure your dream comes to pass.
Right. I just showed a little bit. It was massive on Sunday in District 17. The people turned out. People turned out in support of this guy. And you said earlier, Jamal, that people been saying, oh, he's not known. But he's not known, and now wherever he appears, he get people to show up in that they just want to see him. They come out to see him. So Linford, we've been hearing anything about this guy is not known. He's not known. He's been in the country the past 5 years now since he entered. People still not recognizing. We kept hearing this propaganda. What do you think of what you're seeing now? Or before you come in, I want to play something here. There's a young boy who also took upon himself to do this. This just about a few minutes before you come in, Linford.
Cummings. We call on Saki to welcome with his music, to welcome Mr. Alexander B. Cummings on stage. CPP Munya. Yeah, Papi, you're highly welcome. Yeah, I do the song free for the Papi. Papi, we tire all is so free like you we want no good song.
very nice music. Lifa, flow. Jamal, can you?
Lifa, I tell you to take this down from you. Listen, Paul, from now on, I want you to just put a hold on Takunje's song. That it be the national anthem for us. I love it. It was really cool. I got a feel I was, in the background, probably the camera was not saying, I was really dancing. I love it. It was cool. We were going to ask for the original copy of that song. We will be playing it. I've already tried to connect with the people. I'm kind of technically from District 17, so I know what to get.
We'll look forward to you making that contact, Jima. We appreciate that.
I will, in the next couple of months, I will get it busy up.
Yep. Let me just make it. Let me make a laugh more. When the thinking was singing, something made me laugh. You were throwing some money, yeah?
Somebody device. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they were throwing some little notes, and the thinking was serious. You're picking a D now. Oh, normally the next thing you get time to pick up a picking, say, wait, it reminds me of the girl that was dancing a man, or you're collecting the money. So the five player went, the girl don't see how much you collect. So the second player went out, the girl don't says, he said, my man, you're bringing them, so check it. So, but the picking is talented, first and foremost. And then he's I just don't know, he's talented. So if you were on the Liberia Got Talent, I think I will give you a boss. And he got everybody on their feet dancing, even Mr. Cummings. And Paul, you mentioned earlier on as to people saying Cummings is not known. Again, it comes to the technological age that we live in. Mr. Cummings came in a race about 18 months, which is just 1.5 years before elections. And Mr. Cummings, out of 20 some more parties, he came in 5th place. And some of these parties that he came 5th place among have been on the ground for more than almost time immemorial. So that was a plus. And in some counties, he even came 2nd. Some counties, he came 3rd. But that's not the point. If you look at all the noise today about the ANC, about Mr. Cummings, about CPP, why you think all the noise? Because even from within the opposition camp, everybody is focusing on Cummings. It's all because they know that the man has made headways. From 2017 until now, he's made significant headways. So they are getting jittery. I mean, I'm one person, I'm in the middle of this whole thing here. Okay? So I'm in so many chat rooms. And I got so many people attacking me for Cummings business. Even when I was sick, people say, oh, go to Cummings, let Cummings send you hospital, all kinds of things. Now, all the people, most of them are seditionists. Why are they now directing their attack towards Unity Party that says they are the second, in fact, they are the biggest party? Okay? They are not going there, but everything that comes to the point where you got a random apple who will come and look at or statement that coming late because he say he start, even if you listen to that entire video, Mr. Cummings was saying to that point where he said my father he went to LU because he said he went to random apple to say he said I went to LU. When Cummings has said several times in memorial that he went to Continental University. So all these things we expected to come, but it's a blatant lie. It's a diabolical lie. It's a wicked lie. It's a weak lie that anybody will tell you that nobody knows the name Cummings. And the last time I recommended on the same program that Mr. Cummings is making all of the runs around Monrovia. The population in Monrovia is a floating population, meaning people come from everywhere to live in Monrovia. They can move by any time. But where the voters, the committed voters are, I will tell you, is in the hinterland, where if you go in one particular village, you capture the chief in that village, and you win the heart of the chief, my friend, you are won every family here in that place. Because the people know. So I would expect that Mr. Cummings will do a lot. What he's doing now, yes. Again, one parable last time, if you light the fire in the forest, the fire will have to, first of all, burn where you light it before it starts to spread. So say Mr. Cummings is based in Monrovia, and Monrovia is a melting pot. It's good that he starts there and begin to spread out. Now it's good that he's going as far as District 17 around the Pole River area. That's Metropolitan Monrovia. He's been to Toli, he's been to other places. Okay. But he has to make trips. Even if he's not present, but they got to focus, the campaign team will have to focus on the hinterland, in the interior part, where people will take like 1 or 2 days to walk from one village to another. Because those people, when you get them, my brother. Nobody, because they know you. So I think Mr. Cummings is making headways. So if anybody will tell you that Mr. Cummings, nobody knows him, that's a lie. It will just be propaganda to try to weaken people. But at least if nobody knows Cummings, the CDC people know him. So we are know him.
So I think it's a good strategy that they up to. They're trying to get Monserrato out of the way, and you already said a hinterland, and then start introduce him to Monserrato, the 17th district, because if he moving around Monserrato County, then you have done your homework, and then as we progress into the coming year, probably then he start moving other parts of the country.
Oh yeah,
so
no,
maybe they have maybe that's their plan. So
yeah, I think I trust the campaign team.
Yeah.
I think I trust the strategists on the campaign team. I know they will not just be around Monrovia. I know. And
exactly.
Yeah, people like Louis Brown comes from the MPP days or the MPFL days. He knows that where the actual voters are in the interior. So I think the campaign team, I think they know what to do. But some of what we're saying here can also help for them to put strategies into place. And I know it's not only the CPP that will go into the interior side. I understand Tweah was in Lofa when he came and then he had an accident. They came from Lofa, and I know he made some campaign statements there. So there are people are spreading everywhere. So the real battleground would be Monrovia, but where you recruit your soldiers from, your committed soldiers from, will be in the interior side.
Yeah, yeah. But basically, I just want to go back to that video, if you mind. The visit to District 17. If you see that on the it's on the left hand side of Zakumi is the young man sitting there in the blazer, I think a blue blazer, yeah, it's ABC. Yeah. He's the one who won a ticket of ANC in District 17, and he's a well-known fellow there. He's a mobilizer. He's been doing it from 2016 up to now. He has been with ANC all the years. So you see how many people they register, 20,000 people in District 17. As for some historical information, after Central Monrovia, District 17 is the biggest. I'm not talking population in terms of biggest in Monrovia. So it's the biggest in terms of, apart from the Central Monrovia, it's the biggest. And it's accumulating population also. It may even...
It got numbers. Yeah.
It got numbers. So, and they got, that used to be the old Congo settlement where you got every little place, and every little place being bought. You can see now if you have been to Liberia lately, you will really know that District 17 is taking over. District 17 is taking over like it's really getting densely populated. So definitely we are doing well going to District 17 and get that registration going on. And that's a plus for you. With regard to the what you were just saying, Paul, Mr. Cummings his team has been engaging Monrovia and Nimba County, used to be the rich counties in terms of voter registration, electoral votes. Nimba and Monserrate County, Lofa will be a target. Probably Lofa, we're not going to Lofa that much for the fact that they have some strong, Lofa is a stronghold. Now, sometimes you see those places, so you know what, this is a place I'll just let it go. But I think they still made some attempt in Lofa County. He made some move in Lofa County at the start of the year, and he intends to go back there and make some move, even win some votes in Lofa County. But Monserrate, we're not going to be fighting with Monserrate. Monserrate are going to go hands down with our ANC or CPP. Trust me, that's working well. If I know you're going to come with some information lately with Victoria Kwekwe, honorable the sister herself. They are campaigning very well in Monserrate County. Very powerful lady in Monserrate County. So basically, Nimba County, you also know how good Mr. Comey has been. I think he visited Nimba County and other county apart from Monserrate County. He's been there over this year. I think in a month time, he's been there 2 or 3 times in a month in Nimba County. And I think we are gaining well in Nimba County. Other county, Maryland, we're going to own that. So other county coming down to like River G, Sano, Grand Judah, and the lower like Cape Mount, Margibi, and other counties. They were going well because you said Honorable Louis G. Brown and other people around him, they're doing very well, organizing the campaign very well. They're doing very well, and we got a lot to do, Paul. We are not complacent here. We got a lot to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he's doing great, but it's also good. Before we come back to, I'm trying to look for that Fitzgerald quick stuff. I think what Fitzgerald?
Yeah, quick.
Yeah, she's running to be senator for Monserrado County, right?
Yeah, District 18. She's the vice president. I think what's the position again? Let me just see something. She's the vice chair for political and international affairs for the ANC.
Right. So while I look for this, I want Linford, you talk about Samuel Tweah was coming from Lofa County and he had an accident. Well, we'll say sorry to him for it's not a good thing for people to have an accident. So you want to talk to us about this? And before, I would like to show the vehicle that he was riding, and then so you can see he had a very terrible accident. This was, wow. That's Minister Tweah car coming from Lofa County, and that was terrible. And this is the back of the car. If you look at this car very carefully, this car is, if you look at it carefully, is very solid. This is a bulletproof car, and this is a Land Cruiser here. If you look at the material built on this car, if it were ordinary weak zinc car, they wouldn't have survived. This is a solid car, and a bulletproof car in Liberia that I know of is cost $300,000. It is a massive car. So, Linford, talk to us.
Well,
Paul, before Linford talk to you, I will tell you the background about a little bit of what happened, where he came from, where was he coming from. I know Linford going to give us his idea what could have been the reasons and other stuff. The minister was coming. He was, I think he went to the Lofa Community College. He was the guest speaker for the day. In Lofa, that was this gone Sunday. So he was coming back to Monrovia on Monday. So in the morning, Monday morning, I heard that there was a child before Sunday. They came back to Monrovia on the way for the. He came with this is information from the Independent Pro newspaper. The minister was with his wife, with 3 others, and with security, and on the car on the way from Lofa County. Lofa is they said, where is Lofa located against Paul? Somewhere around we've seen the northwest of Liberia. He went to speak as a guest speaker at the community college. So while on their way back from that program, they had a guy involved in an accident, and on board was with them. He was with 2 security officers and his wife and 2 other people in the car, but they are not named yet. And the minister was somewhere. So the minister I think he got slightly injured. The wife is in critical condition, and the driver is also in critical condition. So I think they believe to be flowing to, where is that, in Accra? Yeah, in Turkey for treatment. So there are a little bit of background information there we have with regard to what happened to the minister. That's the Minister of Finance in Liberia. So sorry, Linford, just a little bit of background information. What people should know who are watching and following. What were they all the action about, and who was this person?
That was good. Thank you for that background information. Like I said, it's rather very unfortunate that the minister and other people, especially his wife, could be involved in such an accident. And accidents are things that people do not expect, and that's why it's called accident. You don't know. If they are known, they would not have come that particular moment. Probably they would have waited a few hours. But again, when the thing that will happen, nobody can stop it. I have reached a point in my life where I believe in predestination. The same way bad luck can come, the same way good luck can come. If bad luck call for you, you can be sitting down in the hall, roof fall down. Okay? You will get out, you say, I'm going outside, you go stay on the car hit you. They say, but no, yeah, Jenna, what carry on the road? They see when good luck call for you. Everybody be walking on that road, bag of money coming, they jumping where you go, you find a whole bed. They say, but they're passing by the thing. So, this is like predestination. But the thing about this accident and what we're hearing is that when the accident took place, they brought them to Phoebe, and then because of their conditions, they are reportedly flown out of the country to Turkey. I don't know whether in Ankara or in Istanbul. I don't know where in Turkey. But like I said, it's a very unfortunate situation. Our hearts are with them. But having said that, people will say we're politicizing or I'm politicizing, but not that. When we talk about prioritization, where you have to prioritize certain things, if you look at the roads in Liberia historically, during the rainy season, the roads become very bad, unpliable. And how many people have not died on those roads, especially the Lofa-Gbarnga Highway, Nima, Tabeta to Granchida Highway, all the roads, even the paved roads. You see, a lot of things play in here. When the roads are not paved, the people drive so back and away that they will make accident. When the road paved, they take advantage of it. The speed, no speed limit. They will disregard the speed limit. So the problems are manifold. Number one, improper training for drivers. Where somebody will just get and jump behind the steering when you know how to turn it, and like I always tell people, anybody can drive car, even monkey will drive car because car can fall. Car cannot fall. I was 14 years, I started driving car in Liberia. Okay, once you brake, you know how to call it like that, you can go. So a lot of people run into each other. They don't know what to do, and people die. That's one of the problems. Then when the road is paved again, the people take advantage of that road and overspeed. Another problem. When the road is bad, it can also cause the car to make accident. So we got a lot of problems. So we need to prioritize. That's why it's not good to take this government money and put it in your pocket, you alone, because life is not guaranteed for anybody. You take all the money, put it in your pocket, you alone, you want to be rich, you don't know what will happen. Now, imagine what if it was one passenger car where the people coming from Lofa country with a bag of rice and bag of snails and things to come, look for that living in Montreal, and they can't make accident and they die or they get wounded. Where would they go? They will go later in Phoebe with no drugs and they will die there. But because it is Samuel Tweah and his wife, he's a minister of finance, so he can be flown out of Liberia. How many people have that opportunity? How many of our people? Okay, so this is why we talk about making the system to work for everybody. If there were drugs, qualified doctors, which we have in Liberia, but nobody, we got qualified Liberian doctors, but they're not willing to leave from the diaspora to go and suffer, work and don't get paid. So if you make a system to work where you have people there in Phoebe, you got people in Tabeta Hospital, you got people in JFK, you got people in retention, you got people in Bapolu, all the hospitals, they can take care of our people. You don't need to fly. Even if you die, by the time they take you from Phoebe, they put you on a plane before you reach wherever you're going, you can die on the way. You see it? So it's not guaranteed. So, people need to prioritize the governments that will come, or even present government or government that will come after. They need to prioritize some of these basic needs of the Liberian people. Okay, not only for the ordinary people, but even you, government officials. So I think that's my take. It's unfortunate, like I said.
Yeah, I agree with you. Rules are, if the rules are good, we all would need to consider health and safety. The rules are bad. The rules are really bad.
Really bad.
If a government claims to be road medicine and the rules are like this, and most of the rules with a hard contract signed by the previous government, so it's something that they need to prioritize. But anyway, this opposition leader keep talking about infrastructure. That would be one of his 5 pillars. So Mr. Cummings always talk about that. Infrastructure is the key to developing any nation. So I hope that Liberian could see logic and listen to the message people selling. So when you get to the ballot box come 2022, make your sound decision of who to go vote for instead of now because Paul Cholope is popular, but he does not know the job, become a popularity with land me in office. All of that people need to now start considering what is there for them, what will benefit them and their children and the generation to come. So those are things we need to look at. So Jamal trying to get this thing, I can't find it. So as time back
Why
here.
looking at Paul? Why are you trying to look for? Let me just comment on this. What happened with these poor infrastructure we're talking about? As we don't know yet the cause of the accident, which we may be knowing later. What I want to say about is about the healthcare delivery system in the country. Consider that, like my colleague just said, Linfo said, it could have been the driver was snapped up. It could be a driver's fault, or it could be any other thing. Let's consider we don't know the reason of the cause of the accident. But what we're taking into issue now is to the healthcare system. The healthcare system is very bad. Now, a lot of people we have lost in Liberia, accidents have happened over the years. They didn't have the opportunity to travel out of the country to receive this medical treatment. And the president, Mr. President George Weah, built a 14 military hospital. I don't know what this facility will look like in terms of equipment. And Paul, I will tell you, Linford, I was in Liberia 2016. I had a little accident. I fell off. I slipped over a rail when I was walking on the stairs. I fell on my chest. Some friends came from the US to see me, and I kind of walk around on the stairs. I fell and I got a serious injury. And I was lying down there for like half an hour. I couldn't talk. So they were thinking that, where did you carry me for x-ray? Okay, that was Monrovia, and they want to take me to Dusa. They want to take me to Monrovia to Dusa for x-ray when I was lying there in pain. So the good thing was nothing got broken. I was got some muscle injury, but I had this internal muscle injury, and I was my flight back to the UK was like the next week, and I have to cancel flight. We're talking about these equipment being a hospital being equipped. I was just lucky. I would have had a broken bone or internal, something got broken internally. If it has to do with how do you say that X-ray, I have to be carried to Adusa in Bassa or Habel. Where is it? I don't know where it's located. So just JFK does not have one, and there's nothing at the time I was in Liberia 2016. Nothing was there. So guys, this is what we're talking about. If these guys are flying out their family and their friends, as long we do also send our hearts out to them, but we're looking at it from a general perspective. Liberians in general, hundreds of Liberians over the years have been dying of these accidents. The tragic accident their life could be saved if we got an equipped hospital. And if you got equipped hospital, you got well-paid staff. Liberians abroad, Liberians in Liberia that are medical background will stay home to provide care for our people. This thing, the president, I know the president is out there now. He will be also doing some medical checkup while he's there. So the 14 military hospital he built, I don't know whether he has gone there for his own medical checkup. We have JFK that was built over the years, one of the best hospitals within the region in West Africa, where you got people used to come and refer for other areas in every county, in the West Africa region. Now we have Jassy Abdul Memorial Hospital in Tapita. They're one of the best one around. It's one of the best around. But then, are we providing the care for them? Are we giving the right equipment? Are we providing the paying the doctors, the health workers, the staff to stay in? Those are the things the incoming leadership should be looking into. Basic healthcare system, food to the table, bread and butter, road networks, education, employability for the youth. Those are not, they've not addressed to have issues. Now you heard a young man saying today that when they were premised that Mr. President will go to do something for them. He was saying the agenda they call the so-called Propo agenda. Where is the Propo agenda? The first agenda was the people, the laymen, they're calling Liberia, the common people, where they were beneficial targets. They didn't benefit anything up to now. They're all crying. They are even the worst victim because they don't have anything. If their sons and their daughters not being paid at the various civil servants, they're not going to survive. You go to Monrovia right now, you got a lot of young guys in the street looking for money. Their families, their parents are sending out to look for money in other way. What's the word for it they always use in the West? There's a word for it, Paul. I don't want to call prostitute, but it's a word they use in the West to make it more diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean they are hustlers.
I forgot the word, but then
in Nigerian can say ashawo.
no, I have they call it something like street workers or something. I forgot the word, but anyway, they think
sex workers or what?
No,
okay.
They have work.
They are hustlers.
No, I have work, but that's not a problem here now. The problem we're looking at the conditions we're going through. Most of our girls, if you go find 3 of our sisters in Liberia, out of 5, at least 3 will have children, not married, children. 3 got children. They don't from the boyfriend because somebody didn't want to. They got impregnated. They couldn't get contraception, and they were not being told. They just because they went out there and just out of 1 or 2, they want to survive, got money. The guy went out with somebody, the guy impregnated. So the system is bad for. So this we are calling for leadership. Those who are there that are coming to power, they wish to come to power. They have the intention to address it. This should be a key thing, priority number 1 to address for our people. Like my Dinfo said, not many people had the opportunity, like the minister Tweah, to travel out to fly, to charter a flight and go out of the country, Ankara for treatment. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad. Liberia is a sad news right now. It's very, very bad news for the region at the moment.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been. Jemma, you want to look at a few comments before we wrap up this thing, please?
Yeah, I will take from where you want to take from the top. I will just go from
take from the bottom there.
Okay, but the bottom will have Michelle Batty Perkins say Nigeria it's not Liberia, and just because Buhari did it, does it make it right? I think that was a previous statement we made, and she's coming back to make a statement on that.
Yeah, actually, Rios was responding to the Nigerian guy who made a comedy, and then Rios said President Buhari.
That was that.
Yeah.
And this one that what they want, I think when who were talking about Dinfo talk about the boy who sank during the ABC visit to District 17 picking his money, and this but Orita's sisters, Orita Umene said, the country is so hard. The country is hard, so the picking want to pick his money from the ground.
Yeah. Picking one show.
And another one, I would like to go to Chadilia Brown Chuluple. Some living it up on people's sweat, while others are suffering. Liberia. She also had this one again. She said, but what does the president feel he can do that without ramifications? It speaks volume. So these are powerful statements from our sisters that they always come. She one of the good contributors always following us, and that's a good one. Thank you very much for your contribution. And another one I want to read this one from Rivers Pro. First one he said, I don't know, I was 9 at the time, we got to say something about faction. That's old faction protocol. In the 21st century, even in the United States, you have to get those details on the website, Freedom of the Information Act. Nobody tells you how many people goes with the president anymore.
That was the time we were talking about. Nobody knows the exact number of people that travel with the president. Then I was making a comparison where Steve Makondo used to name the whole interaction. So Riverside Pro is saying that long time thing. Right now, all you do, just go in and say the mansion. That's how it's supposed to be. Go there and you see everything.
Yeah, but in this case, even in this case, they hardly who all they travel with. They don't. Yeah,
but because the danger boy, Paul, the danger boy is that the speculation will continue to grow and grow because I can come and say they put 100 people.
Yeah.
Yesterday, if you listen to Spoon TV yesterday, Spoon was saying that the president traveled 51 people. We not Spoon said that. And Ken Hassan said, no, they put travel 8 people. Then right on the show, Mariah checked. She started checking, then they passed the number 8, they went to 12. And came on. So you see, the speculation will grow and grow and grow and grow in the absence of the fact,
Yeah. So, guys, I think we've been here for a while. This was good. Linford, we're on Saturday, I guess. And Jamal, I don't know, you always off and on, and I think we'll be having another fascinating show on Saturday. We might have a guest on Saturday by God's waiting. And so before we end this show, I just want you guys to summarize this. Although Jamal came late, so Linford will start with you.
I think it was a good show. We basically touched most of the things, and of course, the biggest headline in Liberia right now is the president being away, which, like you said in one of your conclusions, you said we just don't know, and of course, we just don't know why these things are happening. And it seems that the president is tired of being president. He's tired with the job, or he just don't care. Let the Liberian people do what they want to do. And you know, and the thing about this job is that you cannot just sack the person. It's not I implore one John Brown. When John Brown can't do what I say John Brown today, don't can't do what. This is a presidency. Though we elected him, we voted for him, but to get him out is not easy. It's not that easy. So, you know, I think the Liberian people will just have to bear. Now we'll go back on. I will go back to Saturday discussion I will hire. When the Liberian people should get bear patience and say, no, we have come a long way. Let you bear it until election time come. Because we don't want to spoil anything right now. As it is, I don't think we need to spoil anything. So the Liberian people, you bear it, you hold your heart, my people, but at the same time, you'll be watching what happening to you. Okay? You don't want to go back there. So you got to make a right decision. And that's how I'd like to end for tonight.
All right, Paul, before I end, I'll make my parting statement, comment. I would like to tell you something. You were looking for, this is a lady, if you mind, just give me a few minutes. This is a lady who was responsible for the District 18 program, this Victoria Kukwe we're talking about.
Yeah, Victoria Kukwe.
Yeah, she's the one, she's a group called the Total Bone. There's a women group in District 17 endorsed her, that's in today. And she's a powerful lady in ASC, also in the CPP. So she was the one that just doing that program just a couple of hours ago before came on the show. And this is the group, the welcome ceremony. Just a little bit of this to let you know what was happening before came on the show. By the way, thank you very much, guys. I came in a little bit late because of some technical issue. But however, thanks for starting the show. We had a very good discussion. And just to touch about a little bit of what we have, I want to remind our politicians, more especially the CPP. I think that's the powerful force right now. We need to look at the issue Liberians are having right now. And I think they have to dwell on that and make sure we can address the issue. And I also love to hear what my political leader will be saying when we get to the gathering. For one of these days, we're not listening to his speeches because you need to resonate with the people, what the people want to hear and what will you do for them. Give them promises, not empty promises you're going to give them. Because with these hard times are these in the country right now, people want to hear something that you promise that you will deliver when you get there. Georgia told us you're going to bring, I don't know how many thousands teachers going to bring from Nigeria. We did not see any. I think Linford, you were naming those things he promised, or we didn't see them.
He promised the 6,000 teachers, trainers that was also kind of train our teachers. They did not come. The Bali Island that will transform. Now, you know, by way of information, where that Bali Island is in the world, there are certain areas that they call wetland. And they are very important national reserves for every country. And if you want to use it, in fact, I think some kind of international group paid for those kind of places. Okay, so they were supposed to transform it, and then they were supposed to bring a hair factory. I mean, just so many things, and we have not seen any of this in the Eboma, the Eboma loom, and all the kind of things. You know, so.
And also, we understand that
from Bassa County to Maryland, the
superhighway, the coastal highway.
Yeah, I know you trust me. In the next 2 weeks, if he comes back, you will hear something like he had the Kuwaiti government getting a contract to pave the way.
But we already heard. We are already hearing that the Qatari government has committed to pave the Lofa Road to contribute to the Lofa Road project.
Yeah, I don't call it what Biloni or BS. Anyway, what the situation is right now, we have heard the promises. Nothing's happening at the moment, and it's a serious issue. Liberia is in a serious issue. The problem we have right now to address is the bread and butter issue. People are really suffering. If you take your phone, you call back home, the first thing you say, my people, we are struggling, and it's a shame. So I don't know. We have the resources. Why are we struggling? We're using a word predicament to cover up that we have a problem. And others are covering up. They are making up compared to other African countries. We went through, the other country went through the same COVID period. They survived and they're doing very well. Yeah, we are picking on those ones as an excuse to cover up our problem. We also know the war in Ukraine has some effects, but cover countries are picking up. So this can't be an excuse to say that the war in Ukraine, the COVID, they have this adverse effect on us who can't cover, who can't develop. This people are overcoming these things, so it can't be an excuse we want to buy from them. What we are saying, they have failed us, and our leadership, Mr. CPP, should really work on this and make sure that they will deliver to us. And I know they will deliver. So the man who is ahead, we have no doubt that he has the capability to do it. He had the right people to do it. So Liberian, we will keep talking on this platform to tell them the right thing. We are not preaching any parties in politics here. The thing is affecting us. It's affecting me, affecting Linfa, affecting Paul, and you watching me, I know it's affecting you. We'll speak to you. We'll make sure those who are going to get empowered, they'll provide our bread and butter, provide an equipped hospital, qualified doctors and nurses, good education, and youth who got jobs. Those are the things we want to preach for. We want good road networks from the farm to from the road to the farm, from the farm to the market, from the road to the market. Those are the common things. But we want electricity in our country. How many 173 years, or I don't know how many 76 years, what do you call them? We stay struggling with cancer. We are one of the least in West Africa. So where are we leading to? Now we're having this. So all these playing allegiance to someone because he's from your country or your county or your tribesman or it's your brother or your cousin, it won't work for you and myself. So we wish that our people listen, and as I've said, we'll preach the song, we'll preach our people, we're telling the right thing. We're not telling because we love Mr. Comey. We know Mr. Comey he had the right skills, he had the people around him, he got the way to think. He loved that country. That's why he's there. For the past 5 years, he's not been doing anything. He's been moving around telling people he will deliver for them. So let's put him there. He will deliver for us. So that's my parting comment, Paul.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen, for your calm voice. And I would say it was good. The interaction was great. And to my president, I think it's about time that he go back home to address the issue. And it's a shame that his son cannot play for Liberia. And that if he cannot encourage any of his children to play for Liberia, why would I encourage my boys to play for Liberia to start with? Liberia is one of the oldest in the world. We need to be at this point in time. Liberia should be the country in the World Cup every 4 years. It's something that even the remaining 11 months before election, if he could do something. Counted me usually held in December. Then look at it. That the arena he came from is post. If he can live with something, that's fine. Even if he's re-elected, like football should be the focus. Because that's his. Listen,
Listen, I actually sent you one picture from Qatar where the president is on the football field, but I know you didn't see it.
I didn't see it. The man is there now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about being on the football field. I'm talking about in football. Just say, I mean,
okay.
Send to me for President Linfa. We'll put it out right now. Do you have it?
Okay, Paul, if you check your WhatsApp.
Send it to me. I will put it out.
Because this is a strain. And his strain is a strain. He cannot govern, but he plays soccer, he plays football, he plays the game, and make the game to be his legacy. So I think that's a strain. And then leave the other bit. They say everybody have their area. Leave a wave. They mean people that can deliver Liberia the way we want it, deliver the country that should be in the 21st century. You don't ever the job. I would say, well, people, I think Linfa, you said it right. Maybe he's tired. And if your area is not an area, you can't force it. So that's why I would say it was good. And if you put that picture out there, I'll close over with the latest ABC music, and then we'll call it a day. On Saturday, we might be having a good show here on Saturday, and then we'll look into.
I'm trying to send you that picture.
If you don't find another
we can do it next. We'll go through Mr. Comey 5 period next week. We'll dive into it and get a clear understanding of his 5 pillars, how he intends to deliver Liberia. The CDC pillar have failed us, and then look at Mr. Cummings' pillar and see what he's going to do. We're not going to go back to the previous government that was there for 100 years. So we're looking forward. So, gentlemen, it was good to have you all here, and I hope we all appear on Saturday to have another fascinating show. So, Linford, you can find out, then we'll leave with this.
Yeah.
You found it?
No.
Okay. So, I will say thanks to our viewers. It was good that you all join us and keep following us. Jamal, Linford, it had a great show, and I'll leave you guys with a wonderful music that took me off my seat to dance.
Cummings. We call on Saki to welcome with his music, to welcome Mr. Alexander B. Cummings on stage. CPP Munya. Yeah, Papi, you're highly welcome. Yeah, I do the song free for the Papi. Papi, we tire well, so free like you we want no good song.